Didn't that make for a fun pre-lockout last night? We were getting information left and right, and the rumours around KPP have basically come true that, well, he was getting scans and a physio popped up there on his foot. We just haven't heard the exact, diagnosis of what's happening. But Barry Tui said very likely he's out. And someone asked about how many minutes Lucas is going to get off the bench, and he said probably 80. So there you go. That answers a lot of our questions. Likely Lucas back to the second row and KPP out. That was obviously one bit of news, but that confirmation kind of came after the the Jaden Brailey news. Blake had a good game last night, actually. But Jaden's actually come out in the media and said that it's going to be a week-to-week decision as to how many minutes he's going to play. If he's going to be, it was a tactical move last week to come out and have a little bit of punch off the bench and try and be crafty around that in that way, and obviously be fresh as a tackler. And that's going to happen not every week, but week to week it'll be a decision as to whether he starts and plays big minutes or whether he plays off the bench. Look, there's every chance that he does play decent minutes this week, given he had that rest last week and 30 minutes. But the reasoning for it, guys, was just that he has not played more than, I think, 11 games in the season in about 4 years. So they're just trying to get him to get through the season, basically, and not overload him. And obviously how much work there is tackling-wise through the middle. They're looking to try and get him through the season and, just get back into a normal career, basically, because he's had a really tough time. And I do understand that. It's obviously best for his health, but from a fantasy coach's perspective, it's not great because it's not like he's really falling away when he's out there. He continues to tackle well and do good things, so we want him out there as long as possible. But news like that, and it's actually going to be a year-long thing. It's not just this next couple of weeks. They do have a bye next week, so that's where I think there's a good chance that he plays some decent minutes this week and potentially gets a good score, and I'm probably going to have to keep him this week, and I think that was the general plan anyway. But following that, it's probably a better idea to potentially get off him, because at 560k or whatever he is right now, it's not going to be great for him going forward. He's going to have games where he does get 30 minutes off the bench and picks up a 20, then he'll get 60 or 80 and get sort of a 40 or a 50, and it's going to be that yo-yo up and down. He's going to average out about 35 to 40 max, and that means he's got about 100k to drop there, and he's not going to be a tremendous kind of player for you. So with that news coming out, I decided to make another move this week, which was fine. It didn't work out perfectly last night. Obviously, it was a very interesting game in terms of points scored. It was 22-0 to the Finns, and then, the Sharkies made a massive comeback, and then the Dolphins, got over the top. They're obviously getting that try in front, and Nico, unfortunately, wasn't able to kick that goal. Did you see his stats last night? I think he said he was like 25 from 25 at Shark Park, and he was 45 of 48 on the season. So there probably wasn't anyone else you wanted to be kicking that goal, unless you were looking at maybe just a straight up massive game player that's done it in Origin and done it in grand finals and stuff like that. That's probably the only other player this year you'd want kicking it from the sideline. He unfortunately just kicked it right, and we didn't get extra time there. But that was a very awkward game for middle forwards, because it was obviously spread left to right plenty. You see basically all of the guys, unless they scored a try or got an assist, they're all outside backs and halves, right? So it wasn't the perfect game, but I did end up trading in Jeremy Marshall-King. I pulled the trigger, bit the bullet. I actually didn't even realize that he got the 73 a couple of weeks ago. I was just thinking he was plodding around this score at 45 with the random 50 and stuff like that. He got to 60 in there as well. So with his average closer to that 50 mark, I did decide that Brailey wasn't going to be in my team longer term. So I did trade Atkinson straight to Jeremy Marshall-King last night. And then I just decided I was going to work out the rest today. And I'm still working that out currently as to what I'm going to do. But I do think now with KPP out, that Brailey's going to have to stay this week, which I think is completely fair. That was the plan originally. My trades video is not exactly gone out the window, but there's likely to be an extra trade added to that. And I'm going to have to work that out, because KPP out, if that's the case, which it likely is, he's obviously had a foot issue coming over from England as well. So that's something to think about as well, as to if that's going to be a lingering thing, or if that's, something that's just a week off and he's got next week as the bye. or if it's, a reintroduction of that issue that he had overseas, right? So that's something to note as well. If you do want to move him on, I understand. I personally have 3 edges currently for round 19. So if I do remove him, it doesn't hurt my buy planning that way. So you got to have a look at that yourself as to how that fits. A couple of people actually, moved on from him this week regardless for some reason. But I understand the Brailey one before you got this news exactly. But KPP, I felt like it was a clear hold, unless now that he has this injury and then you could potentially use him as a trade out target. And for me, it's trying to get obviously the 17 on the park this week, which is helpful. We don't want to overload with trades just to do it, but I do think that in that scenario for me, I don't need him. Obviously, I think he's going to score better than like a Piakura in round 19, but I don't actually need him as that scorer then, and then to be out this week when I'd be shorter player next week as well. Where again, I don't need him next week either, even if he was to be playing. So yeah, very, very interesting. And that's probably a guy I'm going to be moving on personally. So yeah, Brailey news. I think we hold him this week. Likely get a decent score. He didn't exactly say he'd be playing off the bench this week, but longer term, he's going to have on and off weeks where he plays some decent minutes and the like. But it would be weird for him to play 30 minutes this week unless he's carrying something, come type of niggle. But yeah, that's what I wanted to focus on for this one. So I did bring Jeremy Marshall-King in, and he helps me for 16 to 19, which is obviously needed a hooker for next week to get 13 on the park. I was potentially going to go without. Reed Marnie sounded like the better target, but also trading Brailey means I would need a hooker in round 19. So he helps me out there in that one. Jeremy Marshall-King does, and he's scoring solid enough. Obviously 49.5 is the average. So yeah, decent for the season. He's priced accordingly, and he almost scored. Like I think he ended up at a 44. We haven't got the complete updates here from the NRL app over to the NRL Fantasy app. But yeah, 44 for him is where it ended up. Not the end of the world. He got a couple of offloads in there. Thank goodness, a couple of tackles late when he was really tired. But had the turnover tackle as well. But no attacking stats, really low tackle numbers compared to where he's been all season. So it's fine. One of those games. But Britton Nikora, he stood out this week. And gee, as an owner, you'd absolutely love when he does it very regularly, where sometimes he'll sneak out to the wing in attack, and either like Ramian or whoever else is, or Katoa in this case, was running like a little bit of a decoy line or just hanging on the inside. And he got that line break and try assist. He obviously picked up a try early with a line break. So great work for him. Obviously good run meters with that 50-meter play. And yeah, decent tackle numbers. Obviously missed a few, but 3 line breaks, 2 try assists and a try, 73 points. You're very, very happy with that as an owner of Britton Nikora, that's for sure. Congrats to holders, because he needed that, that's for sure, after having a bunch of really low weeks there, unfortunately. Herbie Farnworth, 61 he's going to go up to. So really, really good game for him as well. A try, 2 offloads, 4 tackle breaks, decent tackle numbers there, and good run meters of 215. So awesome stuff there. Nico Hines, a 57 he's going to end up at. But yeah, he just didn't play great. Obviously, they were down 22-0 in that first half, which is not great. And it looks like the Dolphins have got the Sharks' number at the moment, that's for sure. 57 for him with 4 goals, the try assist, 28 tackles is kind of saving him at the moment, that how well he's tackling and getting involved in it. 100 meters run and 342 kick meters. Obviously, it adds up very, very quickly when you get, 28, 11, 10. So you got 49 in base, just in tackles, meters gained, and kick meters before anything else comes up. So very, very good on that front. Blake Brailey, I suppose before we move on, really, really high break even, so you'll lose some cash, and that helps me as an owner. It helps those that are looking to potentially buy him if he doesn't make Origin in like round 17 or round 18 or round 19, if we know that he's not going to be the guy come round 19. So hopefully we can get him like at 920 or something like that. Obviously, if you're buying him in round 17, you'll just lose sort of the 50k or whatever it is, but have a high break even again next week. And I think we are going to want him. At least him or Cleary will be the play. Hopefully you can get both. But yeah, something to note there. Obviously, if you captain him for 57, you're not super happy about it. It's like obviously a decent, it's a decent number. It's not an injury or something like that. And that's the big part of this game, that we didn't have any injuries, right? Was the good thing there. Blake Brailey, 54 for him. He ended up, got a try assist there, 53 tackles. He was one, like obviously Dolphins had a bit more ball for the majority of this game. You do see the Dolphins tackle numbers where Jeremy Marshall-King was the highest at 37 there. And then he had 37 from Aitken as well, and then 35 from Lemuelu. And the rest were basically, well, you had some mid-20s from the bench middles, Plath 31, so nothing high in this game at all. But yeah, Brailey of 54, really solid. Max Plath, again, just the base stat numbers were going to be down a little bit. He still played really good minutes at 64, picked up that try, thank goodness, because he would have ended up with 40 or less, which would have been a little bit frustrating in this type of game where, yeah, there was points flying around for tries and stuff. So happy with that as a Plath owner. 53 is another price rise, so good stuff there. Happy with that. So that's all we really need to say. He's a great option as a mid-half dual. How good's mid-half dual? It's so good. Don't think I've used it yet, but yeah. Hammer. 51. That try, absolutely spectacular. If anyone who's holding on to him right now, you would have absolutely frothed that. He made so many points in that one play, which is obviously a worry in itself that he had to make, basically half his points, let's say 25, potentially more. Yeah, 28, 30 with all those tackle breaks and stuff in that one play. But that's the stuff that he can do. And obviously, yeah, terrorized Queenslander, terrorized the New South Wales boys, and he terrorized Hines again in this one, unfortunately, and got that win. It really stemmed the bleeding. 52 he's actually ended up at. Stemmed the bleeding and the flow of energy that the Sharks had, which was red hot at that time. Cody Nikarima, 51. Anyone holding on to him? I doubt there's many, but yeah, good stuff on that front. Kale Iro just keeps getting better. He actually got a try assist in this one, which is very good. He ended up at 50, which was nice. So 193 meters. That goes up. Yes, he picked up an extra 3 points there. Super easy on that front. No tackle break updates. Yeah, everything else is good. So 50 for him, just with that couple extra run meters. Good tackle numbers again. 16 for 1 miss. Yeah, 190 with 3 tackle breaks. Nothing crazy with the turnover tackle. Good stuff from him. A little bit underwhelming from... I can't believe there's people in the top 1,000 were selling him this week. He's averaging 41.4 as a center at 499k. It's with just getting no attacking stats. It's criminal to sell him, in my opinion. He's going to be in there long as possible, old Kale. All right, Ewan Aitken, 46. So, a little bit underwhelming. But again, tackle numbers are a bit down. Run meters under 100 and no tackle breaks, no offloads. Thankfully, a turnover tackle, which was helpful, along with Jeremy Marshall-King, like we said. But yeah, just a little bit down. And at 787, a little bit frustrating, obviously. If you don't own Happy Days, you got away with this one. But after the last 2 massive weeks of 70 and 80, I won't be complaining. That's for sure. But yeah, a bit low one, just, yeah, tackle numbers and run meters and the like. Just a bit of everything across the board. Similar to that with Marshall King, like I said, I'm still not going to complain about either of those two, 46 and 44. Anything over 40 from guys that, you're not like Nico Hines territory in this type of game, we'll take for sure. Kenny Bromwich played a good game, got a try assist in there, some offloads, good run meters, so found a spot for him in the middle rotation, which was nice. Wonder if that'll stick, or if like a Josh Kerr or someone will miss out when TPJ does return. I think that's more the like for like replacement there. So yeah, Lemuelu, anyone who jumped on him, obviously he's the cheaper price guy, and if you got a 46 out of him in this one, according to the NRL app, there you take that every day of the week. That's a big price rise, like a good price rise, and he'll continue to go up if he continues to average in that realm, and that's with no attacking stats. So great stuff for Connolly on that one. When did he go up? Offload. Yeah, not sure. One missed tackle. Yeah, okay, they dropped off a missed tackle. There you go. So that's good. 46 for him. Rudolph and Williams in the 40s. Bostock with a 40 for him. Nichols, 39. Isaiah Cattell went up to 42. Went up 80 kick meters, so picked up a couple of points there and wherever else across the board. But solid game for him. Obviously, just, big kick meters was half his score. Yeah, exactly half his score when he gets up to 22. So that's fine. Yeah, obviously scoring pretty well where he's priced at. So you'll take that. Asako ended up with 36, so not ideal there for him. Just cannot get any tries at the moment. Like, everyone in that back line got a try except for him. And it was great for a couple of weeks there, and then a few people jumped on. He's just been poor since then. So we know that with Asako, it does turn around. It can turn around fairly quickly, and it might happen again in the next few weeks. But if you own, still keep holding. If you don't own, he's potentially a buy at some point if he gets down to 530, 540, 520. That type of range there. It's fairly cheap for someone that we know that can average 50 and did last year. Hunt and Averillo, really nice tries from both of them. Good little work at certain times. Mulatalo, 31 for him. If he did buy, he did get a try, which was helpful. But yeah, it's just still not happening down that left-hand side. And the Sharkies, I cannot catch this team, seriously. They've won 2 games and lost 3. And I've tipped wrong every time. So, annoying. Trindle, 31. Yeah, he kind of, took over a little bit in this game with 323 kick meters. They split that, basically. And, yeah, it just didn't work. So, frustrating there. The biggest frustrating one of the day, and that's why I've said I'm not going to complain about the 40s, is that of McInnes. So, 41 minutes for him, 29 points there. So, yeah, I suppose in this game it wasn't the right game for him with the types of plays that they did have. Like, they still only played, Hamlin Uele for 18 minutes, and he had Rudolph play some bigger minutes. Obviously, Hazelton was in there as well. Wherever he was. Did I go past Hazelton? Probably. Now I'm stalling. How did I not say Hazelton? There he is, 30 and 38. It was the next player on the list. Of course, I skipped him. That's why. Yeah, like all of these guys playing sort of decent minutes, so they kind of split each other's, fantasy relevance, that's for sure. But 29 for McInnes there, 29 tackles, 2 misses. One of them on Plath, go big Plath. 60 run meters. So, yeah, very low across the board for him. And I think we chalk this down to a very low middles type of game. And hopefully there will be others that come along and it's a bit more of a through the middle type of game for these guys like McInnes, Jerry Marshall-King and the like there, where they can get some good tackles. But, yeah, frustrating there. If anyone who grabbed onto Ramian, he had a lovely line break assist there. But that's the frustrating thing. He has a terrific play where he didn't get any tackle breaks, only got a little bit of a few run meters, gets a line break assist. So he basically got 3 or 4 points for an incredible try assist, which that's the frustrating thing for me with some of these, with the 2 for a line break assist. It needs to be higher for sure. Like, you can do a crab offload out the back on the ground, goes back 20 meters, and that's the same as a line break assist. Feels like a big mistake. Anywho, enough complaining. Kafusi, 29. Oregon, both Kafusi, 29 and 27. We have Stone, 26. Talakai, 15. This was absolutely wild how this one played out. 66 and was incredible last week and then terrible this week. 20 tackles, 6 misses, 1 error, 92 meters. No tackle breaks, no offloads, no line breaks, no nothing. Super incredible how that could even end up happening there for Sifa, and no update as well. And then Kerr, 13, and Atkinson didn't get on. He was 18th man. So, yeah, wonder how this is going to play out in the next few weeks and if Hines makes Origin and all the like. But, yeah, just chalk this down to a terrible middles game overall, unless you scored a try like Plath, where it ended up okay. And, yeah, Nicker is out in the wing getting points. So, there you go. That's that one, guys, for round 15, Thursday wrap-up. We have the Cows first up tonight at 6 p.m. against the Raiders, and then the Souths up against the Broncos. So, oh, God, I don't really want to watch Latrell, do I? I'm going to hide behind the couch for that one. I thankfully was able to survive the Hines 57. I think if Latrell gets 57, I'll cop that as well, to be fair. Anything around 90 or 99, I'm going to cry. Didn't cry last week, but I'll be close this week, that's for sure. See you guys. Have a good one.